Welcome race fans to round number 2 of the NAHA Pro Hillclimb Series. Today's event, the Northwest Nitro Nationals Pro Hillclimb, here at the Dry Creek Recreational Center in Sunnyside, Washington, and it's powered by Harley Davidson. Well, the race fans are hanging out, waiting for the finals of the X-Climb, as we are down to your final 16 riders. And there's one of the greatest of all time, Travis Whitlock, out of Springville, Utah, changing that paddle tire, and we've got the best in the business, from Team Peterson Racing to your reigning NAHA X-Climb champion, Logan Mead the Steed out of Concord, California, here to defend his title. So the stage has been set here for the final 16 riders in the X-Climb, as we're about to go green here in just a few minutes. We're going to be hitting these ramps side by side for the first time in competition, and we did get a chance to go on board with Jake the Animal Anstead, brought to you by Pole Position Raceway. You'll notice that the starting gate is expansion metal over concrete, so you don't have to keep grooming the hole run after run. Now, once the riders clear the ramp section, they'll have to immediately set up for the split section. One goes to the right, the other goes to the left, and they will merge about 2/3 of the way to the top of the hill. This is where the paddle tire is going to start digging. This is deep sill, a lot of this volcanic ash, 700 feet to the finish line. Well, we are just about ready to go green as we are down to the final 16 here in the X-Climb. There's your two top seeds, Mead and Anstead. Let's take a look at your 0 to 450 highlights. Now remember, how the riders finished in the 450 finals determines their seeding for the X-Climb. We'll start off with 14-time NAHA champion Travis Whitlock out of Springville, Utah, 2018 Winter X Games gold medalist. On to bike number 294, that's Ty Cat Cardwell out of Billings, Montana. His run in the 450 class would give him a number 5 seed for later on today. On to Ellsworth, Wisconsin rider, bike number 895. He's always a contender, one of the few riders that rides east and west. Logan Zapala, number 6 seed. On to Dirty Joe Shipman. We get faster yet. Out of Cottonwood, California, riding for Motomart at Carnegie, he'll take a number 4 spot. Meanwhile, one of the top stories, no doubt about it, Molly Weddle, the age of 16, our only female rider to qualify, as she sends it for a top distance. And then it's down to Logan Mead the Steed out of Concord, California, your reigning 450 and X-Climb NAHA champion. He had a shot at taking the win today, but just misses that top time by tenths of a second. And now on to Team Peterson Racing, Malcolm Smith Motorsports, Lucas Oil. It's the silent assassin, Sammy Hummel, on the podium, your number 3 seed for this afternoon. And here's the guy to beat. It's the 474, Jake the Animal Anstead out of Port Angeles, Washington, from Team Peterson, Malcolm Smith Motorsports, Lucas Oil. He had the fast time of the day. He's your number 1 seat going into the finals this afternoon, and he grabs the podium number 1 spot. Congratulations to him. We got a chance to talk to Anstead about that points lead. Here's what he had to say.
Yeah, it feels great to extend that points lead here in Washington and win in front of the hometown fans, and also for Team Peterson Racing, all the hard work that they put in and all the effort they put into this. It really means a lot to take home the wins for those guys, and also to Lucas Oil, Malcolm Smith Motorsports, KTM. Thank you guys for all your hard work and effort that you guys put behind me.
Well, there is a look at the leaderboard, the 0 to 450 overall points chase here on the NAHA Pro Hillclimb Series with Hummel, Mead, and Anstead, your top 3 riders, and there is a rundown of your top 20. Well, race fans, don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll go side by side with the X-Climb. It's all here at the Northwest Nitro Nationals Pro Hillclimb, powered by Harley Davidson. Race fans, are you ready? This fall, Dry Creek Recreation comes back to life October 20th for the first ever Peterson Cup Invitation. It's the best riders in the world, the most revolutionary course ever created, 2 spectacular classes, but only 1 champion. It all happens October 20th at the Dry Creek Recreational Center just outside of Sunnyside, Washington. It's the Peterson Cup Hillclimb Invitation, powered by Harley Davidson. Well, we are back to the Northwest Nitro Nationals. Today's event powered by Harley Davidson. Well, the sun's shining in Sunnyside. The race fans are ready for some X-Climb. The riders are getting in some practice, and we want to thank our local sponsors. Ride Now Power Sports, Pape Machinery, Sunbelt Rentals, HMK, Alba's Excavating, and CRH, your preferred source for quality sand, rock, landscape products, ready-mix concrete, asphalt, paving, and construction services. So Sammy Hummel will be your final rider here in the X-Climb to take practice. Did take the win in the 700 class earlier. Here's what he had to say.
I'm super excited to take that win in the 700 class. It's insane to me to think about how much I've looked up to these guys. Being not an amateur 3 years ago, thinking those guys are so fast, and now I'm here beating them. It's surreal to me to think that I'm already at this level. And I'd like to thank Team Peterson Racing, Lucas Oil, Malcolm Smith Motorsports, KTM, Unlimited Motorsports, Drew and Jody worked so hard for me, Thumper Racing, Race Tech, and 60 Helmets.
Well, the moment we've been waiting for, the final 16 here in the X-Climb. And there is the bracket right there. Let's talk about the rules. Each rider will start in their own gate. Once the gate drops, they have to hit their own ramp. They will then go through the split section. Once they merge after the split section, first rider to the finish line will advance. The other rider's eliminated. If neither rider makes it over, it's the rider that goes the farthest. And here we go. It's going to be Logan Mead versus Ryan Gallegos. Gallegos, the number 72, Mead, the number 1, your reigning Naha X-Climb champion from 2017. And they hit the ramps. It's going to be Mead by a bike length when they land. Mead's going to beat Gallegos to the split. Now, when these riders come back and merge about halfway up the hill, that's where anything goes. But Mead is going to be too far in front of Gallegos. Mead starts to lose traction, and Gallegos starts to gain on him. Cross the roost, tries to go up that right-hand side, but Mead stays clean at the top of the hill. Look how rutted the top of this hill is, and Mead moves on to the final 8. Meanwhile, it's going to be the silent assassin, Sammy Hummel, lined up against Molly Weddle. We'll take one more look at the replay here for Mead's finish. Look how deep that chute is. Look how close Gallegos was. He left no room for error for Mead. Good finish for him. So back down to the starting gate. Here's Sammy the Silent Assassin Hummel versus Molly Weddle. The age of 16, our only female rider to qualify here in the X-Climb. And Molly Weddle right now has a nose over Sammy Hummel. Great hole shot from Molly Weddle. This is the first time she has hit the ramps, and she gets a great start. But it looks like Weddle goes down. Weddle goes down, and Sammy Hummel gets a give me on this one. Wow, did he get lucky. Molly Weddle, by the way, first rider over the hill this weekend. Great runs for her, but Sammy Hummel's moving on to the final 8. Through the finish line he goes, as Molly Weddle will have to come back down the hard way. Meanwhile, Dirty Joe Shipman versus Brody Bell. Shipman on the 119, Bell on the number 76 bike. Bell ride today for Excel Fabrication. Shipman ride today for Motomart at Carnegie. Shipman a number 4 seed. Bell a number 13 seed. He is your underdog. Shipman will be your first rider into the split. You'll notice your top seeds are all picking the right-hand side of the hill. A little straighter shot once you come out of the split section. Shipman, however, he's going to get cross-rutted, and he will give an opportunity for Brody Bell to possibly take a win here. Shipman's looking over his shoulder to see where Bell's at. Shipman just clips the front of Bell's bike. And Shipman will move on because he went farther on the hill. If neither rider goes to the finish line, it's the rider that goes the farthest, so that is Shipman. Well, your next two riders locked and loaded. It's going to be Tycat Cardwell out of Billings, Montana. His KTM, sponsored today by Octane Addictions Climb Technical Riding Gear. And he will face Calvin Peterson on the 100 Kawasaki in the left-hand lane. And here they come now over the ramps, and it looks like a little bit of a lead for Tycat Cardwell over Peterson. And it is not uncommon to see Cardwell on the podium. He did take the last win in 2017 in the 450 class at the Big Nasty. He's won some big races throughout his career, and there's no doubt he is fighting to move on to the next round. You can see now that bike is starting to hook up. Cardwell is going to horsepower this bike up and over the top through the finish line. Cardwell is going to move on to the next round. Peterson will be eliminated. Now on to Ellsworth, Wisconsin rider. It's a 2014 YZ450 built by Junior Jackson Racing. It's Logan Zapala on the 895. Next to him, that's Dylan Martin out of Valley Springs, California. It's a CRF 450R. Martin riding for Honda Kawasaki of Modesto. Meanwhile, Logan Zapala, 2018 X Games silver medalist on the Harley Davidson Snow Hillclimb. And here they come. They race to the top. Martin started to wash out a little bit as he entered that left-hand gate, a little bit hot. And that Junior Jackson 450 no doubt hooked up. Logan Zapala 360 with the wrist straight to the top of this hill. And it looks like Logan Zapala, fighting his way over the top, will move on. He'll move on. Dylan Martin, still a strong finish for him as he scratches his way across the finish line, and this hill continues to eat away. Well, it is time to take a break in the X-Climb action as your final rider, Austin Hollywood Cardwell, will get a bye into the final 8. And the action is far from over. We're going to settle this race when we come back. But first, we're going to take a look at our 451 to 700 highlights. Well, we started out with 35 riders. Would you believe only 17 of them made it up and over the top? Here's one of them. He's in the final 8 of the X-Climb. Logan Zapala turned in at 24.8. Meanwhile, Travis Whitlock out of Springville, Utah, 3-time world champion, 14-time NAHA champion. He had a great run. 25.522 for him. And then your top 3 in the class, starting with Logan Mead the Steed out of Concord, California. Riding for Fast House, IRC Tire, Motion Pro, FMF, and Dirt Tricks. His time, 24.57. He missed the number 2 spot by tenths of a second. And now Jake the Animal Anstead, reigning NAHA champion of the 451 to 700 class. Not even he would grab the win, 24.462. But it would be this guy right here, the 148 out of San Ramon, California. Riding for Team Peterson, Malcolm Smith Motorsports, Lucas Oil. It's Sammy, the Silent Assassin Hummel, 23.7. Well, there is the overall point standings for the 451 to 700 class. Logan Mead still in the lead, even with the 3rd place finish this weekend. There is your top 20. And don't go anywhere. You're watching the Northwest Nitro Nationals. We got the finals of the X-Climb still coming up, and it's powered by Harley Davidson.
Evergreen Home Loans is proud to be a part of your local community. With a team of experienced professional home loan experts, Evergreen looks forward to helping home buyers and real estate professionals by delivering on time and as promised. Evergreen has a variety of tools and support to help make sure your closing goes as planned. When you reach the end of your home buying journey, look for a lender that delivers on time and as promised. Evergreen Home Loans, ready to welcome you home.
Well, welcome back to the epicenter. Hillclimb racing this weekend. It's the Northwest Nitro Nationals, and it is powered by Harley Davidson. We are here in Sunnyside, Washington at the Dry Creek Recreational Center, and we are waiting to finish off our X-Climb finals. We are down to our final 8 riders, but first we want to thank our production crew, brought to you today by Name Brand Media. We also want to thank the official photographers of the NHA Pro Hillclimb Series, TNAmedia.net. Well, here comes your next 2 riders. It's going to be Logan Mead the Steed versus Hollywood Cardwell out of Billings, Montana. Now, Mead has the advantage in the fact that he has that right-hand lane. That right-hand lane seems to be the faster lane. We have yet to see a winner come out of the left-hand side, but it's not over. Here they come. Mead with the whole shot, and he is going to get a jump over Austin Cardwell into the split. Mead goes to the right, Cardwell to the left, and Mead is on the throttle. He is starting to pull away, wheeling up and over that ledge, and sets his sights on the top of this hill. Cardwell having some trouble back there, and this is going to be Mead all the way. Logan Mead is going to move on to the Final Four. So that will unfortunately end the day here in the X-Climb for Hollywood Cardwell as he brings the number 2 bike back down the front of the mountain. As we reset the gates for your next 2 riders, it's going to be the 9-16 of Nick Scarlett versus your number 1 seed, Jake the Animal Anstead. And here we go. Will Anstead continue to move on and go to the Final Four? A number 1 seed here today, the win in the 450 class. Meanwhile, Nick Scarlett, the 916, very little seat time on that Kawasaki. It's a brand new bike for him. Anstead, no problems with that step up. And look at this bike go, all the way to the top for Anstead, and he will go to the Final Four. Great job for Team Peterson. So we are just down to 2 more spots to fill, and that leaves us with Joe Shipman, Tycat Cardwell, Sammy Hummel, and Logan Sapala, and it's Sapala versus Hummel now. Logan Sapala, a number 6 seed. Sammy Hummel, 148, left-hand side of your screen. He is a number 3 seed, and they're on it. They are side by side off the ramp. Sammy, maybe a bike link as they head into the splits, and still too close to call. Logan Sapala fighting his way off that left-hand side, and that is tough to do. Hummel right up the middle. A look back to see where Sapala's at. And look at this, Sapala is chasing him down. Sapala all over him, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to get there. And Sammy Hummel just does get through that trench at the top of the hill just in time. Wow, so Sapala's stuck in that sill. Look how deep it is up there at the top of the hill. That hill is just starting to chew away. So 1 more spot to fill now as it's Joe Shipman gearing up down here at the bottom, and he will face Tycat Cardwell. This will be the closest seat we have seen so far today. Shipman, a number 4 seed. Cardwell, a number 5 seed. Will we yet see someone out of that left-hand side take a win? And it could be Cardwell. They are side by side. Cardwell might even be a notch in front of Shipman. Shipman starts to grab traction. He actually launches off that step up. Cardwell's going to cut over, try and shoot up the right-hand side. Going to go way to the right, but Shipman keeps a rubber side down. Shipman's moving on to the finals. And Cardwell is stuck right up there where Logan Sapala was, trying to figure out how to get that bike back down. Well, let's take a look at that bracket one more time. We started out with 32 riders, narrowed it down to 16, then your Elite 8, and now your Final 4. And it's going to be Sammy Hummel versus Mead. After that, Anstead and Shipman. And we are ready to send them on. Sammy, the silent assassin, the 148. Logan Mead, the steed, reigning champion. And here we go. Who is going to the finals? And they're on it. They are side by side. Up the hill, here they come. Logan Mead, the steed, maybe a tick in front of Sammy Hummel. Let's see what happens. Logan getting that tire back in the dirt. Gonna roll that step up. Sammy Hummel's still in the hunt. Hummel way to that far left-hand side. That is a bad spot to be. Mead's gonna go through the finish line, and Hummel peels off. So Sammy Hummel will go to the loser bracket to shoot out for the number 3 spot. It's now 2 more riders with an opportunity to go to the finals. Jake Anstead and Joe Shipman. And the gate drops, they are on their way. Jake Anstead out of Port Angeles, Washington, riding for Team Peterson Racing. Joe Shipman out of Cottonwood, California, riding for Moto Mart at Carnegie and Rusty's Pizza. Anstead, your number 1 seed, has been flawless on the 450 so far here in the X-Climb. And he continues to be race after race after race. And Anstead's going to the finals. Shipman, and he's going to lose the bike right there at the very end. So race fans, That's it. It's going to be Meade versus Anstead in the finals. Check out this wild run for the 119. Joe Shipman as that Husky gets away from him. Well, while we gear up for the finals here, the X-Climb, let's take a look at the 701 Open highlights. It was quite a show. And how about starting it with Shipman's BTR 1000. Wow, listen to this screamer through gate number 3. Tore it up all the way to the top. Shipman, 22.5, good enough for a podium finish. And then Jake Anstead on the KTM 1190 from Team Peterson Racing. His fast time, 22.379. That put him in the number 2 spot. And Logan Meade the Steed. He needed something, and he needed something big. The second round for Meade gave him a 21.7, and he finished on top of the box with the win. Well, we'll be back. We got the finals of X-Climb coming up right after this. Race fans, are you ready? This fall, Dry Creek Recreation comes back to life October 20th for the first ever Peterson Cup Invitation. It's the best riders in the world, the most revolutionary course ever created, 2 spectacular classes, but only 1 champion. It all happens October 20th at the Dry Creek Recreational Center just outside of Sunnyside, Washington. It's the Peterson Cup Hillclimb Invitation, powered by Harley Davidson. Well, we're back down in the starting gate here, the X-Climb, with 2 more races to go. This one, the shootout to see who takes 3rd place. It's Sammy Hummel from Team Peterson Racing, Joe Shipman out of Cottonwood, California, riding for Moto Mart at Carnegie. We waste no time. They leave the line, and Sammy Hummel gets the jump. Sammy Hummel from Team Peterson Racing, Malcolm Smith Motorsports, Lucas Oil, out of that right-hand lane on his way to the top, and he is going to be tough to beat. Sammy Hummel coming up to the wall, jumps right over it, no problems whatsoever, stays on the throttle, and this is going to be Sammy Hummel all the way. So Team Peterson locks 2 bikes on the podium. Sammy in 3rd, with Anstead still yet to go here in the finals. Shipman will take 4th place today, and this is it. Final race of the day. Gate ready to drop. Anstead versus Logan Meade the Steed. It's reigning champion versus your number 1 seed. And here they go, coming at you. Anstead, a bike length in front of Logan Meade. Logan Meade out of the left-hand side. You know what that means. He has got a lot of work ahead of him if he wants any shot at a win here today. Anstead so far, untouchable. And here they come. Meade actually starts to make a pass. Meade out of the left-hand lane. They tangle at the top. Wow, what a finish. What a finish. It's going to be Meade with the win. It is Logan Meade at the very end making a pass on Anstead. Neither riders make it over the top. Wow, I don't know that we have seen this in the finals. What an incredible finish. Let's look at the replay here. Anstead on the right-hand side of your screen. Meade cuts over in front of him, closes the door on him, and man, Meade could not be any happier. Just an incredible finish here today. So Meade is going to make his way back down off of the hill. Again, neither rider making it through the finish, but it is the rider that goes the farthest. Well, here are the results of the X-Climb. Brody Bell, Dylan Martin, Nick Scarlett, Hollywood Cardwell, Logan Sapala, Tycat Cardwell, Shipman, Hummel, Anstead, Meade, your top 10. You've been watching round number 2 of the NAHA Pro Hillclimb Series. Let's go down to the pits and catch up with Logan Meade, find out what he has to say about that incredible run.
Oh yeah, that was huge. You know, Jake had the fast qualifying seed. It came down to me and him in the finals, so I had to take the slow lane, and first person to take the win out of the slow lane, and I was able to get it done. It was a kind of a battle royale all the way to the top, and I beat him out just enough, and I got the win. So huge. I think I got the points lead now, so that'll be comforting, and yeah, no, I'm stoked. You know, hats off to the whole Team Unlimited crew. You know, our setup's really solid this year. My parents, you know, they helped me out a bunch. I appreciate all they do for me, my mom and my dad. Yeah, Team Unlimited, Jody at Unlimited Motorsports, had my suspension dialed in today. FMF, IRC tires, we're hooking up. Heavy wrenching, DT1, Maxima oil. You know, everybody that helps me out, I appreciate it, guys.
Well, race fans, that's going to do it for the Northwest Nitro National Pro Hill Climb, powered by Harley Davidson. On behalf of the NAHA Pro Hill Climb Series, I'm Jamie Deere saying thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you next time. We'll be back for the Peterson Cup October 19th through the 21st. Be there.